I do that again. The Honorable Ruth Raila Odinga, the county MP for Kisumu, is in the house. Most welcome, Nyakamani. And now, I also want to recognize the county executive committee members from all our counties. Please feel welcome, and the county secretaries. We work very closely with the county secretary of Siaya, the Honorable Obutu. Karibuni sana. At this juncture, Your Excellency, I want to invite up from the governor of Siaya, His Excellency James Agri Boboringo, to now come and handle this component of the program. Karibu sana Jimmy. Most welcome. We have members of parliament from the DRC who are also here. We warmly recognize you. Ajim, karibu sana Wenya Mayanga. Our sign language interpreters, you are welcome on stage as well.
Erokamano ahinya. Tich momiya maduong' mokwongo en luongo jomoko mabiro loso kodu kae. Tae bang'e tabende abiro wacho matin kapok aluongo jakom. President Marwa Raila Odinga, Min Piny Dr. Raila Odinga, kapok aluongo nyige moko, adwa wacho ni kiriek migwena ka, to timie tim mane Jaramogi otimo migwena ka. En hai maber ne higa mabiro maen kiny Raila Odinga dhi bedo president ma African Union Commission. To wuodh Raila Odinga nochakre migwena ka. Omiyo kiriek rang bathi maber nikech en migwena. Odonge randa nikero odonge randa ge elders kendo ket ng'ato wach ni Piny Luo wan gi kere na odonge the governors present, and I'll introduce you a little later. The defense minister. I want to say how much you love us, because although many people came here today, you arrived yesterday and you spent a night here in Luo land. We thank you for that. Governor Mapadola. We have a governor from Padola, a governor from Tororo. The governor of Tororo comes to Siaya and in Luo land every year with a delegation, with the Prime Minister, and I hope they will register the greetings from the King of the Padola. Ni Piny Luo te, gi jotelo mag Piny Luo te man migwena ka, agon erokamano kuom chopo migwena kawuono. To gini Wach ma Piny Luo ok oluonge noluonge aluonga. Oluonge gi gimomiyo makawa kae ka migwena mwadhi go Ramogi mwatieko gi Siaya Luo kaka chalo kama gi ae kendo kama gidhiye. Luo gavana ma Migori
mar Oganda, ma Joluo, mawaziri wa Kenya na Uganda, magavana wenzangu na viongozi wa kutoka tabaka mbalimbali. Hamjambo. Awache matin kamano nikech an ema chung' ne Joluo ma Migori gi Jokuria to gi Joluo ma Tanganyika. Ka ibiro Migori County mating'o mosgi, ang'e ni wajumbe wanitie ka, wajumbe ma national. Ang'e ni wajumbe ma County Assembly ma Migori nitie ka, ma wayalo go Migori. To maduong' ni Migori County king'iyo anyuola man Migori County te, iyudo gi Homa Bay, te iyudo gi Kisumo, te iyudo gi Siaya, te iyudo gi Tanganyika. Ka ine piny marongo, Rongo gin jaduong' manochako piny kama gambo niluongo ni Kasimba, no kendo gambi nyolwal, to Kasimba katimo nonro ne machiegni ni ayudo ni ne en ja Asembo. Kibira Awendo, tibiro yudo ni jo Awendo gin jo Sakwa, ma bende jo Bondo kaka na achiel kuomgi. To bende i Awendo kanyo, ibiro yudo jo Alego ma Awendo to e jo Alego maka. Bas ibiro yudo jo Alego ma Awendo to e jo Alego maka. Ka ruoth nitie, Kakan nitiere, Kogendo nitiere, Alego duto ni kono. Jo Alego untie, jo Sakwa untie. Kibiro Nyatike, ibiro yudo jo Karungu gi jo Kadem, Kabuoch, temi yudo Karachuonyo, tidho loka koni nyaka Asembo. Jo Asembo untie. Erokamano. An bende an gi wuoda ni Raila ofuwo. Mopuch, kizungu motimore Raila rieko se ok riek. Tadwa nyiso kuma koro rieko Raila ogike kabisa. Uparo ni Raila seche moko ming. Adwaro nyiso ni andaki mane ochiki e State House maka Jaluo donjo kone nyinge to ok ndik tich cha. Raila okemu mandaki no. Dongi winjo ka ndaki no koro ng'iengo lake i gode cha. Olor kose ok olor. Mano ng'ama riek kose ok ng'ama riek. Emomiyo josiasa maduono, josiasa magohiu ma ok ong'eyo ni gima Raila Amolo Odinga osetimo ne Piny Luo, osetimo ne jo Kenya duto, en gima lich ahinya, makopodi go nyef. Gima nok go jodalawa, adwa duoko nwero kamano, kendo an bende igilo na. Itimo nang'o? Ni higa manyien, ni higa mang'o? Ni ubro biro Migori mondo urome gi Joluo, gi Joluya, gi Jokuria ma Migori to gi ma Kenya ji edi mabro biro Migori higa manyien. Ero kamano, mad Nyasaye oritwa e kinde makawuono.
Erokamano, Your Excellency, we recognize the delegation from Rorya, Tanzania, led by their chief Karibuni Sana. We recognize the presence of Dr. Wenwa Akinyi Odinga, Nyar County Maka. Erokamano, Mamin Mundu. We recognize also members of the academia, the Vice Chancellor of Amref University, Professor Joachim Osur, the Vice Chancellor of JOUST, Professor Emily Akuno, the Vice Chancellor of Great Lakes, Professor Hazel Miseda. Your Excellency.
Erokamano. Koro giluoro akwayo nyawang'aya.
Erokamano Jim Umruaka ka ne Your Excellency Jatendwa made dibedo kochopo dwe mar ariyo kuom ng'wono ma Nyasaye jatelo mar Afrika mangima Baba Raila Amolo Odinga kaachiel gi min piny en achiel kende onge mang'eny en achiel miluongo ni Her Excellency Canon Dr. Aida Betty Odinga ker mar Luo Jaduong' Odungi Randa erokamano governors wetena waziri mar energy Jaduong' Opiyo Wandayi kaachiel gi waziri mar defense mowuok Uganda First Lady ma Siaya gi First Lady ma Migori wabunge mekwa protocol duto kwa Luo amoso ganda Luo ni Nyasaye ber sechete kendo warwako kabisa joluo makawuono wafwenyo ni wane mwaparo ni wan joluo e Kenya ka to kare joluo ng'eny mogik Democratic Republic of Congo joluo ng'eny mogik Uganda joluo ng'eny mogik Tanganyika joluo ng'eny mogik South Sudan kuparo na gwambo dhi e Afrika to ni padi un kendu ema un kode ne joluo tete mag piny madhi chako kode Afrika kodhi e piny mar Afrika warwako joluo go duto te adwa go erokamano maduong' nagwambo Nyalego okego nea wuoyi malich miwuoro gi mager makia ng'wech ogiya kuom riwruok mar oganda Luo e Kenya ka to kendo koro komede gi Afrika riwruok mar oganda ok en gima yot samoro jomoko paro ni riwruok is a natural thing ok en natural riwruok en gima agwambo sekete effort maduong' gi jotendwa mag oganda Luo mane momiyo riwruok wa e tekowa ma ng'amo temo ni nyalo pogo oganda Luo to walawa nang'owa adwa recognize kabisa Dr. Buru erokamano gi jaduong' wa Jakoya an kae jakom adwa wacho ni Homa Bay duto nika wan kae gi seneta ma Homa Bay seneta Zario wan kae gi wabunge mowuok Homa Bay gin kae karom gi kaachiel gi women rep marwa wan kae gi speaker mowuok Homa Bay mar county assembly wan kae gi deputy governor ma Homa Bay Jaduong' Oyugi Magwanga wan kae gi MCAs mowuok Homa Bay duto te wan kae te kwa biro e Piny Luo Ajimi Wonya Mayanga wagoni erokamano kuom rwako Siaya ka kendo kuom loso nyasi maduong' minyado gi le machalo kama erokamano ne in to gi jo Siaya duto kuom chenro maber mine untie nyina muntie adwa ni mondo wachi ni kindiko historia mar oganda Luo gi kuma Luo ae gi kuma Luo dhie ok nyal ndiki koko ndiki mine manyinam kakose wuotho mochung' motegno ka joluo dhi mbele kwa chako gi Canon Dr. Aida Odinga kane en miyo mayom dobed nyar kumoro nono sama machielo modhi obetgo. Nyanam kosok nyanam. Grace Onyango ondiko historia e Kenya. Grace Ogot ondiko historia e Kenya. Phoebe Asiyo Nyamuga ondiko historia e Kenya. Akinyi Wenu ambassador nokuongo yudo PhD e chemistry e Kenya mangima. Mago nyinam. Mane momiyo ka wan e piny Luo ka, e oganda Luo ka, wambe kaka joma mine, wan gi riwruok ma waluongo ni sigand nyinam. Ma kwariwore gi jowetewa bende, to oganda Luo bedo motegno, kendo chung' motegno, kendo wadhi mbele kanyakla. Atieko kawacho ni ka nyinena dweche 3 mokalo, nyineno dako paso hiya. Sani kinena, ane national chairman wa chama maduong' mogik, South of Sahara and North of River Limpopo, chama miluongo ni ODM. Mano chambwa kaka oganda. Omiyo ka chwadi ODM mokwongo to ngisa ni tuko tayari. Mar ariyo ting'isa ni onge ringo. Uwacho nang'o? Haya, ODM! 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 Mane chama moriwo kaka oganda. Oganda Luo wariwore gi Gor Mahia mpira. Oganda Luo wariwore bang' Raila Odinga. Oganda Luo wariwore e chama miluongo ni ODM. Ma wan kuma wadhi mbele ni. Wang'e ni kochopo higa mar 2027 to ODM donje loch. Ka wan bang' Agwambo wuon Nyalego ni. ODM donje loch. Ka wan bang' Agwambo wuon Nyalego e nying Ruoth Yesu. Elders waduto mowa mabe aneno uja duong' Apolo Bwana. Ero uru kamano ahinya. Nyasaye ogwedhu kendo rito.
Ero kamano Nyawang'aya. Emobe abena aywak ni nyinam. Nyinam anka. Nyinam anka. Abena aywak nu. Emobe osiaka. Ahero wach ma mon wetena. Ahero wach ma mon wetena. Teko duto akomene. Mon wetena untie. Mon wetena untie. Ng'ama tek dhako. Koro miyauru thuolo kokalo kuom jakom mondo aluong jatelo mar Roots Party Wajakoya.
Your Excellency Raila Odinga, the First Lady Mama Aida, Professor Nyanyong, Governor of Kisumu, Nyawang'aya, awacho ni Nyawang'aya, awacho koso kawacho, Dr. Uchila yako, Senator kijana Oburu Odinga, Otienda Molo, and Kora Abel Watonia. First of all, Governor James Agri Orengo. I am so privileged today to have been invited this last week by several Luo leadership, and I'm reporting this directly to Baba. I'm also privileged to say that when Baba did what he did, mapping culture, I've never said a single word in public. Jochako Kwanani, why is this man silent? But I was consulting with Baba through James Orengo and Baba directly and Mama Aida. I cannot do without consultation. To Baba no Kwanani namna hiyo. Tekendo Baba chako tumogimono maber kabisa kumwot piny Opio Wandai. Opio nka recognition ma 100%. But before I continue, I would like to say that my entry into Luo blood is through Nyamagoya. Nyamagwa was a great woman who gave birth to my grandmother and gave birth to Otienda Molo's grandmother. So when you see that blood around you, be careful. And Mheshimiwa James, you have said something very important. That when Raila came around, Jaramogi came around here to do something. No kweto moko kambo yudo gimoro, but ako pano eto ochako nyuolo nga. The Jaramogi family, I don't know how to please myself. I don't know how to thank you for the liberation struggle of this country and East Africa as a whole. And I don't know how to thank Mama Ida for having been, plus James Orengo, the two that God used to transfer me from this country when Moi was killing everybody to UK. And I'm making this known to our fellow Luos from Uganda, that if it was not them, I will not be standing here, particularly Mama Ida, when she made what she made through Jaramogi, to ferry me from this country when Moi was killing everybody. That is why, and that's what informs you for what I've been doing to the Luo community. When things went wrong in Tanzania, the Luo community, the Roria Untie, I'm the one who took your 4 Diwanis when they ran here into exile. I'm the one who made their papers as a lawyer, and also your MP who was helped by Raila Odinga. So my intervening within the Luo is great. That's why when Baba says things, I listen very, very, very keenly. Okali kodi yamo muneno yamo mangeng ni udikon. Yamo tonge. Ntie nyitindo moko mose chako paroni gibende ginyalo wuotho kamano. Mano kunyalre. Lakini majensi, I have a word for you. And I'm following what Baba said recently. And I'm not going to fear anything. Baba, please, I beg you, tell somebody somewhere not to take our children and abduct them. I know you have said that. Kindly pass that message very greatly. Abductions are wrong. Our children need to live. And I know with Baba being there, everything is going to be all right. I thank you very much. Tokero kanyako morontie kamoro wariye kwa nyalo kata nyolo nyitino moko mariye kakawan. Ero kamana inya.
Ero kamano Professor Wajakoya. Koro githuoloni. Owadgi Mary. Mosiepna. Magavana Makisumo. Kilonetane party on disone. Neni interim party leader. Erokamano Governor Makisumo. Dakugone Joey ni word Kisumo. Yo.
Yokanyana mutie. Mushiek. Erokamano. Ana biro kaka wuono jakom kaka rukum jakom Raila Odinga egi nyagem Mama Aida goburo siepna gijoduso duto manka awacho kama na ng'e na biro megwena omiyo na biro gi nyagem ko jang'e ni megwena kama yude jomoko kamano omiyo kaponi sympathize koda Walos bange wayere. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Haleluya. Mara leo adwa wero kama mjatendo Raila Odinga. Yafuambo ete moyo chopenja mara juzi. Ntoka pone Raila Odinga to koiro to timango. Ako ni winjo. Oko di no try, odi no di yudo. Makofi basi. Because we must realize that when Jacob has made up his mind to do something, he knows what he's doing. When he made up his mind that we are forming ODM, he knew what he's doing, which direction we are going. It doesn't matter how many difficulties we have found on the way. We are resolved. Forward ever, backward never. Mara Rio, adwa wacho gimoro kuom Jaramogi.
Jaramogi was an institution builder for the Luo community, for the nation of Kenya, for Africa as a whole. And I remember one of the things he did before he died was to champion Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology. Ramogi Institute of what? Advanced Technology. At that point in time, I remember very well, it was very difficult to collect money for it. I don't want to go to the circumstances, but he managed. The leadership and the daringness of Jaramogi, it was inherited by his family. Uburu, Raila, Nyagem. Secondly, kuna mara wajogi Kisungu. Uye, awashi. Leadership is not for those who want to get benefits. Waswahili wanasema kujitolea mhanga. You must give yourself to labor and to ask for no rewards. To labor and to ask for no rewards. That is what true leadership is. And we are seeing it in our leader. Therefore, all those of us who are here who want to stand for anything elective, please know that if you want to be a leader, please be a leader and not ask for any reward. Indeed, it is the true leaders who have been persecuted most on this earth, beginning with Jesus Christ, St. Paul, and many others. And therefore, in Lowland today, we are here because the people who organize this thing today, Jim Orengo, thank you very much for the leadership you have shown. You are doing it with this team from both Siaya and Kisumu County. Not because we want any reward, but we want to build a movement, an institution for the Luo people. And therefore, I will do to Jotelo Manka, Karomu. Let us continue with giving up ourselves to serve our nation and serve our people, so that something like this can happen because of the dedication of the leaders here, led by my friend Jim Orengo. Jim, thank you very much for what you have done. And what you have done with our Deputy Governor, Dr. Willie, and the team you are working with. Here in Kisumu, we have MPs from Kisumu County. Can you stand up? Dr. Ron is there. I think over there, my eyes are not very good. Mikal is there. And then Father, I need to change my glasses. Aduma Mako, then Ruth Odinga, the senator, the woman rep, sorry. So we are here representing Kisumu County in full, and we are going back to report to the people that this cultural event will continue into the future to show the culture of the Luo people internationally, not just in Kenya. Bwana Yesu asifiwe.
Erokamano, koro kuyena, adwani aluong Jacob.
Sorry, we recognize the presence of the Secretary General of the UDA party, the Honorable Hassan Omar. Karibu sana. We also recognize the founders of the Luo Renaissance, Professor Woro Lunga, Professor Ben Sihanya, Henry Mien, and Engineer Kerry Orege. Our facilitators, because now we are concluding from here, Professor Mary Uroti Otieno, we recognize you, Professor Larry Gumbe, Mwalimu Paul Capochilo, Professor Obonyo Digolo, Dr. Elizabeth Awete, Dr. Ahao, and Dr. Isaiah Nyambega. Karibuni sana. We also recognize the presence of the founding Vice Chancellor of TUC, Professor Francis Odwal. Your Excellency.
Ero kamano. Koro sani. One of the most powerful women and Kenyan in this country. Not just in Kenya, but entire Africa and the world. Piny, on your own, you're a fighter. You're a freedom fighter. And I can be a witness to that. Ruak nauru Piny, gisigalagala. Come on. Mokwongo agoyo kamano maduong' ni Nyasaye me polo obomo nyaka laga momiyo wabiro ka wabet ka tieng' machal kamanieri enene jomobet piny ok unyal ng'eyo ni dhano ni kama chal nade kata bende nakia sama abet to kare ulich mana kama ng'ama ok ochopo ka to en ng'ano ng'ama ok ochopo ka to en ng'ano to kapod idieyo reti chopi pod wabiro bedo gi budho kiny gorwecha omiyo nyaka uchopi. Mar ariyo agoyo kamano ni jok moparo mokelo ji kaachiel mochako gimiluongo ni Piny Luo. Gini wasegomba to ne pok otimore to sani otimore kendo biro bedo nyime omiyo agoni erokamano. Gini eri oyawo wang' ji mang'eny kata an bende oyawo wang'a ni kara Piny Luo ok en mana Kenya ka, kara Piny Luo oting'o jo Uganda ma bende waneno gi ka, Piny Luo oting'o jo Tanganyika bende gin kacha, jo Mwaroria, Piny Luo oting'o jo Sudan, oting'o jo Congo, oting'o jo Ethiopia, to kara walicha higa ni watime ka, higni mabiro watime ka, to kamoro higni mabiro mbele kucha ok nwatime Kenya ka, nwatime kata Uganda, kata Sudan, kata Ethiopia, kata Congo, nikech waduto wan gimoro adi. Ber an gima dawachnu kaka jowa nyithi joluo, ang'e ni weche ng'eny kendo ji paro mopogore gik mabeyo osewach kar kae, to nyaka wapar ni to en ang'o manyalo kelowa kaachiel, ang'o ma kwatimo to wanyalo bedo kaachiel. Ok bani nyaka go back to the drawing board buang'in en ang'o manyalo kelowa kaachiel. Weche mang'eny nyalo pogowa, iwinjo ka to tena ajaloka, an aja kune, an aja kanye, mago weche mapogo ji.
weche moko mapogo ji gin weche mag kaka neno ka siasa moro do chopo ka siasa yiera kuma idwa dhiye to kik forget in jang'o ang'e gimudwa wachona koro jogo duto warwako ng'ato nyalo kier matin to kiduogo to duogo e laini to kibire laini wawe ani momiye thuolo mar loso kin kawuono kibire laini to chak chien kuma nene ng'at mogik chien kucha midhi chake mano bende wayie kamano omiyo kik waked kod gimiero gin jowa kihinye ichwero remb jaluo wadu gi joluo manie Kenya ka tim moro tinde wahero ma anta don ka timno chwanya to koro nyaka wana wach nugo awacha tim moro ni ka wadhi e liel ka wan gi liel to dhano biro e liel ywak to in idhi mana e liel mar gori gi jawadu yawa timno to nonego wakwere ka wan oganda ng'eny kamae jok makelo lweny e liete ji ukwongogi udagi kidhi tibedo na mos to ywak ka ywak ihero kitieko titibang'o idhi dala to mogik an kawuono ka an wuon wach luonga wanda bia mosu to mogik joluo nyakwa ket tekowa e wach mar puonjruok mag nyithindwa wach mar education wach mar somo kokwa puonjo nyithindwa gi to jok winjo kiluonga ni profesa kia ng'ano profesa ng'ane dokta ng'ane biro bedo maonge mbele ka koku ng'e wachno biro bedo maonge mbele ka emomiyo nyaka ket ine wach mar puonjo nyithindwa litna ka winjo tinde ji nyiewo digri makata ng'ane be nyicho bedo nojolang'o PhD muno bedo injinia man gi PhD to kata skul ok onyono yawa wawe wach noero somo bed somo mar adier to kik upan kucha kende kata iwaka obed somo mar adier nikech somo mar adier minyalo gero go piny to kodwa gero pinywa nyaka odwa nyithindwa gi nyaka wami proper education nyaka wamigi ang'e ni kachopo kar kanyo to ji ling to kata kuling nyaka wamigi kidwaro japuonj mariek kabisa manyalo puonjo nyithindo maber inang'e kanye oa kanye nyalore koso ok nyalore an kawuono ka an gi wach mang'eny an adwona mosu kendo nyisou na amor kodu kabisa kaneno amor kodu koro celebration mwantiegi omiyo ka aneno kerero kamano bedo ker mar Luo aneno jotelo mopogore ka amor kodu ero kamano kuom bedo ka to unu lead the way and us will follow ero kamano Nyasaye gwedhu
mako mamano murito rengo ing'e gimomiyo orita maber mama noupuonje
sama wuoyo ka ng'e ni karo itaga toka kar kae
To dahero mdagin, an chon ne an japuonj. An jok mana puonjo. Ema mi jo kacho for education. Jok mana puonjo gin who is who. Oka puonjo jok ma ore mi kor gweng. Achiel ko jok mana puonjo en Betty Murungi Orengo, nyako mochung' e dirani. Donge ang'en seche moko nene mana ni donge mano jaod Orengo. En well educated. En a lawyer of high standards. Osetiyo kata gi UN as a lawyer. Betty, just say hello to them.
Nyasai ber sechete karibuni sana Migwena. Some of us have come to spoil for our partners. Tumekuja na wao hapa Migwena. We look forward to welcoming you to all the ceremonies over the next 2 days. Karibuni sana, our visitors from all over Africa and the beyond. We're very happy in Siaya to be hosting you for this, our annual Piny Luo Festival. Thank you very much, Min Pin, for having taught me and having taught many of us here. Asante sana Baba for honoring us, obviously, with your presence. We appreciate you. Ker erokamano ainya.
Ker onge nyako ni erokamano. Nitie gimoma min piny owacho kae, and I want to repeat it loudly, and please bear with me. In a lot of the events that are going on now are being covered live in NTV. But the reason I want to say this because next year we are going to go either to Migori or to Kisumu. But I think it has been decided it's Migori. Now, if you look all around, we have been assisted by institutions in the corporate world. And I want to mention all of them because they intend to go with us to Migori. They told me as much. And they are watching us to see whether it is necessary to continue investing into Piny Luo. There are only 3 cultural festivals in the country where the national government has been giving assistance. The first is the Turkana one, the Ma community, and the Lamu Cultural Festival. This time around, and I want to thank you, Baba, Raila Odinga. The national government has invested resources and assets in Piny Luo, and I want to register my felicitation to the national government, particularly the Ministry of Tourism, the ministry in charge of sports, and the ministry in charge of culture. And their representatives are here, and they're going to be with us throughout to know whether it is useful to continue investing into Piny Luo. But they have made that decision, but it depends on what we do. I want to appreciate the Nation newspaper group together with the Nation group or the Aga Khan group, because we got 2 institutions from the Aga Khan group, that is the Nation and the Diamond Trust Bank. They have assisted us. We have also been assisted by the Kenya Aviation Authority. If you go to the airports all over the country, they have put banners for Piny Luo. Everybody arriving in Kenya today, whether it's Jomo Kenyatta, whether it's Mombasa, everywhere, they are advertising the Piny Luo, and we want them to continue doing that. We have also received assistance from the Kenya Commercial Bank, from the Cooperative Bank, from the Diamond Trust Bank, from the NCBA Bank. We have received assistance from Lab Fund. We have received assistance from Safaricom. We have also received assistance from Kenya Airways, making it possible for Gor Mahia team to come by air. I think they came yesterday, courtesy Kenya Airways. And they have said when Yanga is coming in February, they will pay for their tickets and pay for Gor Mahia Kogalo. We have also received assistance from KBL, Kenya Brewers Limited, and from Just University. All these organizations are saying they want to be part of the team of sponsors and partners for Piny Luo. So we are going to meet them in Migori. How many people would welcome this organization and others to continue giving assistance to Piny Luo? Let me see a show of hands. Koroku yena abeadwa wacho gimoro matin nitie joloso moko mabende biro tadwa wacho gimoro matin kae. In history and right now in a lot of discourse in matters concerning affairs of men and women who have changed humankind, one of the greatest debates in England is who is the greatest Englishman who ever lived. And the debate is normally and most of the times between Shakespeare and Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill, not because he was a prime minister, because he was a great writer and historian. And the other person in England, sometimes that names keep on coming, is Sir Isaac Newton. If we talk about the greatest black man that ever lived, the debate is between Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela. Not so much because they were princes or kings or monarchs, but because of what they did for the world and for the nation. And in that category falls one called Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. In the United States of America, when they talk about the greatest American that ever lived, the name that keeps on coming is that of Abraham Lincoln. Not because he was president of the United States of America, but because he believed that America cannot be great if it is half free and half slave. Our Lord Jesus Christ, who we worship, was never a pope. He never occupied any position. He was never a cardinal. But his history and work goes across continents. Even for that matter, Muhammad the prophet, he was not a king, he was not a monarch. But what he did for many, many centuries, and we're talking about over nearly 2,000 centuries, is because of what they stood for and what they did. And I want to remind the Luo nation, and this I want to say without fear of contradiction, that Raila Odinga is a great Kenyan and a great statesman, not because he is a party leader, not because at one time he was a minister. Raila Odinga is a great Kenyan because of what he stands for. And you will find any time we have made a decision, including now, to work with partners, Raila will never allow you to do what is wrong. And I'm glad, Baba, that when it came to the question of abductions, you spoke plainly. You didn't mince your words. And I am saying for the Luo nation, we may not have been produced a president in this nation, but the time will come. The time will come the time will come. And the reason why that time will come is because of the sense of justice of the Luo community. The greatest asset that we have is not money, is not our land we own, it is our sense of justice. And on that one, I can tell you tomorrow, yesterday, and in the future, that the great Luo leaders have never been mediocre. They stand up for what is right. Raila Odinga Odm is one of the most brilliant politicians who left a record, but because of his sense of justice. Tom Mboya had a sense of justice. Arsene Kodek had a sense of justice. And I can tell you, because of Raila's sense of justice, that is why he has won elections. Me, I believe that Raila was and is president because many times he was robbed of election, and that should never happen. So I want to plead with you. Sometimes we can get a sense of excitement and euphoria. Sometimes we can get a sense of excitement and euphoria. At least in my lifetime, I've been in politics with people like Odongo Mamu or Okiki Amayo. And when you heard them talk, it was like the president was king. We must always remember that we stand by our constitution. That is the basic document that must guide us. And that constitution is what now allows us to express our identity in language, culture, and when we are all gone, it is our culture and identity that will determine who we were. The pharaohs, the Egyptians, their history lives today because they left a culture which we can still access. Now, for Piny Luo, our history is rich. And I ask you, when you are here, take 2-3 hours in Gotramogi. Then you'll begin to know who you are. You cannot leave Kenya and go to America and visit Arlington Cemetery to see where Kennedy is buried. And you're a Luo and you don't know where Ramogi is buried just next door. You have to do that. You cannot be a Luo if you don't know how other Luos, how they live, their history. And I'm so happy with the delegation, all the delegations that have come. We have got kings, we got governors. In Uganda, we have prime ministers. They are all here with you. And in DRC, there used to be a little girl called Akumu, Nana Akumu. A lot of people didn't know that he was a Congolese Luo. And Dr. Buru, they tell me that they're not just 4 million, they're about 8 million. So, Kenya, we are here as a Luo nation, not to preach discrimination or exclusivity. We are not going to be people of the lake in exclusion of other Kenyans, like other people preach about mountains. We believe in unity and diversity, as Adam Solo said. That is what is going to make us great. This is what makes Raila Odinga standing for justice, standing for the truth, standing for the common people, having pro-people policies. That is what is going to make a difference. Omio, angimano, emanyalo wacho, mora hinya gijimubiro, migwena, koa ka kinyuparu bi wichlum, ka wuono wadhi Gotramogi, gikopondo, kendo oruye nwabed Ramogi, kendo nwabed Siaya, Kababa, Siaya Tatien. And In conclusion, Raila Odinga, I want to appreciate for you making it possible. It has never happened, never, that through your leadership and vision, we got all these people from the Luo nation from across Africa. That is one. Secondly, you have made it possible for two heads of state, sitting heads of state, to come to join with you to celebrate an event in Siaya. It has never happened. It has never happened. It has never happened. But next year, we'll come to you, now that you'll be the head of Africa, to bring us 6, 7, 8 presidents to Migori, or to Homa Bay, or to Kisumu. Awacho kutoka wacho? Awacho kutoka wacho? Joey! 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 Polo Piach! Polo Piach! Polo Piach! Polo Piach! Korea Naura Duong, Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Right Honorable Raila Odinga.
Kabayuma kangata, kabayuma kangata. Kabayuma kangata, kabayuma kangata. Kawer no kangata, kawer no kangata. Oh mokil. Kabayuma kangata, kabayuma kangata bombo. Kawer no kangata, kawer no kangata nyomo. Kabayuma kangata, kabayuma kangata wanga. Kabayuma kangata, kabayuma kangata ida. Kabayuma kangata, kamiel no kangata buru. Kabayuma kangata, kabayuma kangata apia. Kamiel no kangata, kamiel no kangata dungi. Kabayuma kangata, kabayuma kangata guapo. Aguapo noroka. Baba Raila tiroka nangotela. E baba noroka. Ajumi orengo tiroka nangotela. Ajumi noroka. Mama wanga tiroka nangotela. Miel na nekendo norwaka. Ai norwaka. Dugna nekendo. Siaya wiye. Kisumu wiye. Migori wiye. Kisii wiye. Kenya wiye. Nango baba tosha walwa ile kodecho. Nango baba tosha walwa ile kodecho. Nango Siaya wiye. Migori wiye. Homa Bay wiye. Migori wiye. Kisumu wiye. Siaya wiye. Nairobi wiye. Nango baba tosha walwa ile kodecho.
Asante sana. Asante.
Haya. Jothurwa. Umor. Joganya umor. Bena muin. Bena muchiek. Eje mwisho kutikira mari. Ero kamano. Niweno mobiro, our guests come from outside Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, DRC, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and the diaspora in the US and in Europe and Australia. Sauru, hamjambo. I want to welcome all the visitors for this wonderful occasion. It is a great occasion for the there are only, I think, 2 other communities who have some similar celebrations. Here have an annual event, a Mormor. A Mormor is the king of the Teso, but he lives in Uganda. But he comes here annually and they have a reunion here. Called it Tobong Lore. Tobong Lore, they bring people of 2 different parts. The Toposa in the South Sudan, the Karamoja, the other group which are in Ethiopia. They come and every year they have such a festival in Lodwar. Now this is not a political event. It is basically a cultural event that brings people together who share the same culture to be able to unite, because culture itself is a source of civilization. That's why the Waswahili say, mwachamila ni mtumwa. That if you forget your culture, you become basically a slave. So I've got some remarks I want to make in English. Then I will speak in the Luo and also in Swahili. We gather here at a time in which the world is increasingly interconnected through globalization, while at the same time we are witnessing the resurgence of nationalist aspirations. This resurgence of nationalist aspirations is being complemented by the emergence of multinationalism, which is nurtured by resilient communities. These multinational inspirations do not seek to undermine the national project in their host countries, but rather to harness the linguistic, cultural, and social fabric upon which most nation states were built. In Africa, we are more of state nations as opposed to nation states, given that the state in Africa, thanks to the Berlin Conference, saw states being engineered from above through artificially created boundaries. These consequences of these colonial boundaries were the fragmentation of cohesive lingual and cultural communities, which were dismembered, separated, and distributed among different states to satisfy colonial ambitions for socio-economic control and exploitation. Despite these divisions, pre-colonial African nations have demonstrated remarkable resilience, continuing to thrive across nationalities imposed upon them by colonial powers. It is within this context that the Luos from across Africa and the diaspora have gathered here in Siaya at the foot of Gotramogi, to the revered shrine of the Kenyan Luo, to reflect on the state of the Luo nation in the spirit of unity and diversity. Luo delegations, led by their respective cares, that's cultural leaders, have converged from Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia,
South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, and other nations. We were also joined by non-Luo participants who have come to celebrate alongside Luos, embracing unity and shared heritage that transcends the national borders. To say that multinationalism has come of age is therefore an understatement. This cultural festival embraces a multifaceted theme, fostering unity in diversity, not only among Luos across national borders, but also among diverse national groups unified by their shared African identity. Over these 3 days, we will celebrate our traditional cuisines, rediscover and adapt our traditional cultures to modernity, engage in traditional games, and enjoy art, music, and festivities cherished by our forefathers. We will deliberate on the state of the Luo nation and chart a way forward in a rapidly changing world. As our forefathers proclaimed, this gathering is guided by the enduring spirit of the Luo nation, captured in our rallying call, 1-1-1. Repeat, 1-1. To give, 1, give, 1, give. Hello, kawuono wan gi miluongo ni galamoro. Luongo nang'o? Iluongo nang'o? Mokendo. Kamano. Koro kawo gini. Hello? Koro wan ka. Wan migwena. Wan kanye. To nitie kamiluongo ni wichlu. Iluongo nang'o? Tiluongo ni kotramo. Iluongo nang'o? Tiluongo ni Siaya kababa. Iluongo nang'o? To gibondo. Kawuono wan migwena ka obuso wachonu. This used to be a place where people used to compete on an annual basis. From time immemorial. I'm going to tell you so that our friends from Uganda will understand how the Luos of Kenya came about here. But here was a place where people were used to compete. Now you have a division here called Bondo Division. It used to consist of Uyoma, Asembo, Yimbo, and Sakwa. Where we are here is Sakwa. And people used to compete here. There used to be tug of war, there used to be wrestling, amen. And then they used to play soccer, girls used to play netball, they used to run, apudhinjiri, 100 yards, 220, 440, 1 mile, 5 miles, and 10 miles. But here now, people used to come, the teams would come from those 4 locations to run. Now, in one of those occasions, a girl came. She was not from this division. She came from what would be known as Boro Division in Alego and Ugenya, those sides. She came to visit her auntie, who was married here, somewhere around Bondo. And then there's Migwena Sports. So she came. And then the relative said that she was also an athlete. She used to compete in that other division. So she was allowed to compete with girls here in the sprints as a guest runner.
And when they went 200 meters, she beat all those girls. Everybody was surprised. Then we went 220. Then she beat them so far away that she caught the attention of one Jaramogi Odinga Odinga. To yakoma jaber manyo yiricha. En kanye. No, don't worry. So they would, oh, she's not from here. Her aunt was married. Then Jaramogi said, I want to see her. Then he was told that girl is so proud. She had rejected so many men that we don't think he will succeed. Then we approached and tried. Eventually, he was giving up. But he had these cousins who were experts in seducing girls. So he was told that, oh, eventually this one has accepted and cows were being sent. That's when he now realized that something was serious. So that story is in Noti Tohuru, written by Jaramogi himself. That is how Raila Odinga Odm came about. Mama Mary Emma Odhiambo Odinga. This is Jaramogi met her here at Migwena. That's where I want to challenge you, women car. You women car. You will tell her, won't you? Don't you even tell? You will tell. We will make you watch you. Now, as you have seen, you have people from diaspora. They are the Acholi here, the Padola, the Alur, the Jonam, the Jurchol, Yoshiluk, Anyuak, Yakayo Gambela. Now the Luos here in Kenya are a hybrid lot. The Luos here in Kenya are a hybrid. The first group that came here and landed at Ramogi 800 years ago are called the Joke people. The Joke. The Joke people came from Acholi. There they're called the Pajok. They live in the border between Uganda and South Sudan, a place called Nimule. Some of them are in South Sudan, some of them in Uganda. The Pajok. That's the group that came together and were led by one Ramogi, and they came and settled in that hill where we are going to go, called Ramogi. That's the first settlement of the Luo in Kenya, over 800 years ago. They went up there, and tomorrow visitors will be able to see the shrine. There's a place where they settled, their home, Dala. There's a house there, Ot. Then several houses of them, of wives there, are there. You have recreated them. There's also a duel of Ramogi. And then there is a Kul, where they were keeping cattle. Then there's also Rapogi. Rapogi is a big rock where they used to sharpen their spears and arrows when they were going to war. Then there is also Pong, a grinding stone that they used to grind millet and other grains. And there is also Loch. This Loch was where they were hitching cows. It was put on the ground, but it grew up and became a big tree. It is there up to today. There's also Soko, where they used to get water, fresh water. It's there, that's Soko up to today. The Virgin Maria people go to baptize people there up to now. So all that is there is a big history of the Luo people.
That's why we said we are making Ramogi Hill a shrine of the Luo. There's now a hut which is called Siaya. And the hut which is called Kisumo. And the hut is called Homabay. Another one is called Migori. Symbolic to the clans here, there. Now the joke people. Today, present day Luo, joke are, you need to know that when the population grew up, they started now to move out. Hello? When the population grew, they started migrating. And they migrated, and this place here, Megwena, became the dispersal point. But the first to move out of the Ramogi was Alego. Alego Mawuri is the one who moved from Ramogi first and crossed the River Yala into present-day Alego. Now, today, in the present-day Alego, the descendants of Alego himself are three clans. The Jokanyinek, Seje, Mabuda Alego Maduong, and Dengi. Those are the descendants of Alego. The rest are actually settlers. But it took 250 years before the second group of migrants came. 250 years. When the second lot came, this one came from the Padola. The Padola, the Owen brother Padola, came with these people through the normal migration corridor, Samia, Bugwe, into Bunyala. And then after a while they crossed the Ibanzoya. They came and found the Alego people there. Already Serge, the son of Alego, the eldest son, was crowned as the chief. Serge was the king of the Alego clans there. But when they came, they said, we cannot be ruled by another king because Owen had already been made a king in Manyala. So they deposed Serge, and Owen took over. And Owen now became the king and began to torture the Alego people, like Jokowin. The Owen clan today in Alego are the Kogelo, the Kaluo, the Karuoth, the Moor, there's other people around Siaya, Karapul. Then in Imbo, you have them, Jo Kadimo, Jokowil, Gumunyajira. And they are the ones who are also there in a symbol called Kanigoro. And this also the Waundo in Sadoka. The Jok people are Asunda Lego, the others are Oiwa Nyakaj, others are Oidi and Rombo Kisumo, Nikal Seme, Rachuonyo, and Chuanya, Karunguka Dame, and Kaboch and Kanyamua in South Nyanza. Those are the Jok people. The third wave of migrants came from the Aluru, who are from the West Nile and Eastern DRC. They are called the Jokomolo. There they are called the Paimol. Here they are called Jokomolo. They came 100 years later and followed the same migration corridor. And then when they came over in Zoya, they found when was ruling those Alego people very ruthlessly. They teamed up with with the Lego people and with this deposed Owiny, and Seje became the leader again. It's a Molo people. Their first settlement is a Lego place called Boro. This Molo group here, you find them in Ugenya, majority, Kagir, Jokapuny, Jokateg, Boro, and so on. And again, we call them Jokojudi and Kwenda. On the other side, they're called Gochia, Jokanyada, and Jokagan. Who are Jokakan in Alego this side? That is the Molo group. Okay? The fourth group, all this group also went to go to Ramogi, first. The fourth group and the last group are called the Wanga. Wanga came from the Padola also. And then they moved Wanga. If you go to Bunyala there's a hill called Wanga Hill, God Wanga. And from there, they moved and passed through Alego and went all the way to a place called Tuiki. They settled there for a while. There was Nyadundo, Owanga, and Owila. Nyadundo remained there. The people we call the Tiriki, if you ask them, their ancestors called Nyadundo. Wanga moved to Matungu, where he subdued the people he found there and became the king, Nabongo. The first and the only king that was found here, Wanga. And then they were there with Owila. Owila, when you told him something funny, he would laugh at you and say, Joyuma kabisa. Joyuma hinya. That is where the word Oyoma came from. Then Wanga had a wife called Sakwa. And with that Sakwa gave birth to a son called Matar. Now, Owila people moved from when there was pressure on land, population had grown, the Owila people moved back to Lowland and settled in Alego. Their settlement there is called Oyoma up to today, near a place called Kobare. That is their settlement. Then Matar people came and followed them and found them there. They settled there. There another person called Lay had come on his own from Asoriland and joined them there. This Lay, there in a Choland they called the Palais. The Palais came and joined. Lay had a girl who was grown up, a Molo Nyale, who Owila married. And that is the origin of the Oyoma people, Jokamolo, Jokatwenga, Jokabudha, Jokobong. And that's why for a long time they did not used to marry with a simple Kale. Jokabondo, Jokakia, Jokonyango, Jokoching, and so on. So that now gives you the meaning of the Luo, the diaspora, I mean the mixture. The last ones are the Suba. The Suba came from Buganda, the original settlers. They are called Abakunta, who came there, killed a king there called Kabaka Junju. And now the Kabaka's carriers were chasing them. They ran to the lake, they went first to Bosoga, then eventually they ended up in Fangano Island. And then they came ashore. They were mostly men looking for girls. Lewis told them, if you want to marry our girls, you must remove 6 lower teeth first. Wakasema kama ni kutoa meno 6 peke yake napata bibi, toa mara moja. Wakatoa meno 6 wakapata wasichana. So but you see, these people came from Buganda royal family, and you need to know that Buganda royal family was originally of Luo origin. The Kabakas were actually Luos. I'm saying this, Ugandans will confirm, even Museveni will confirm to you when he comes. This story I'm telling you. So they were speaking Bantu, but for a long time in Kibaka's court, they were Luo speaking. But then because you are living with so many Bantus, they lost their tongue. And they need there. Therefore, I'm saying that although they were coming here, they were not real strangers. The Suba group. And the Subas, of course, some came from Tanzania, some came from Ukerewe Island, and so on and so forth. So all that I'm trying to say in a short is that the Luo group here is a hybrid, a mixture of Acholi, the Padola, the Aluru, and the Baganda, which are here. This is Tanganyika, in short. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is that the Luo unity is why they have managed to survive and live up to today. Most of these places where they now settled were occupied by other people. And they pushed these people, and then they occupied the land around here, but very peacefully. This is very important. Now the cultures of our people which are important for children to know and understand. This is what creates a nation. So we say that in this country we have got communities with different cultures. We say that diversity is our richness, unity in diversity. So in celebrating this thing here, does not mean that we now want to discriminate against the Luhias. We have lived with the Luhias for a long time peacefully. They have, for example, the Maragoli Cultural Festival every year, which is fine. The Kisi, the Kuria, the Nandi, the Kipsigis and so on, we live together peacefully. So what we're trying to do here is not exclusive. We're not trying to discriminate against any other community. We just want our people to understand our culture, and it's important. And also to participate also in business and also in other activities that make life bearable for communities. So I'm very happy today that we are here at Piny Luo. Piny Luo is here today. Piny Luo is here, and we have got Ker Odongiranda, Udarangi. Chumbono joko nini kendo. Africa consists of communities with diverse backgrounds. You have a movement in Africa for generations. They are here called the group that are called the Negroid race. You have the Bantus, you have the Nilotes, you have the Kushites, you have the Hamites, you have the Hottentots, and the Pygmies. But they've migrated and integrated. And here, you're blended. The original Luos who came were tall black people, if you look colonial literature. The Nilotics, tall, pitch black, slender. Bantu, short, stout, brown, and thick lips and round noses. Now, you can see the intermarriage has brought the Luos a little bit down and brought the Luhias, for example, slightly higher up. So we are now a hybrid, and we are a hybrid. And this is the richness of our culture and our people. So we are here, and we are happy to be here. And so this is a very great occasion today, as we celebrate Piny Luo today. Piny Luo today, 1-1, gin, tuan kanye, galamuru, wan kanye, Wakanye, ithuo mor, ithuo il. Erokamano koro wacho ka king jidhi timo amend king timre dho nam to gi yedhi kiny piem. Ka it sport bro timre ka kaka ne timre chon. Ibiro yiyo kada wuno ka. To wecha kawuono godhiambo jibiro dhi cho just